Hey guys, and welcome back. I'm here back at the house before we head out to the airport, showing you guys the progress I made on my dad's HDS. So, in the last video, you saw that I joined and did the 31-day build challenge with Experimental Aircraft Company. And I made a bunch of progress, not as much as I wanted to, but I did make a lot of really good progress on this plane. Let me show you what I've done. As you see down here, I did get all of the landing gear installed back on the plane, which was one of the goals that I had. Also, I got the steering connected. Did put in the breather. You notice down here I've got the master cylinders kind of mocked up in place. And I also completed the rudder cables along with, you notice here I've got the aileron cables and all of the other cables. Also just picked up a ELT, which we're going to mount in this position here. I've got the master solenoid we're going to put in, and the battery box. And the battery box is actually going to mount right in this area. So, got to do a little fabrication, but made a whole lot of progress towards getting this thing done. So now, with that being said, let's head to the airport and do a little flying. All right, gassing it up, and let's go flying.
Somerton traffic, experimental 918, Lima November, taking runway 35, departing the area to the north, Somerton. Somerton traffic, experimental 8 Lima November, left crosswind runway 35, departing the area to the north, Somerton. So when I changed the prop setting, I was able to spin the prop a little faster at wide open throttle static. So now I get 2,900 RPM static, and as I climb out, I get 3250 cruise. Just moving from pitch pin 5 to 4, but what that's done is now I'm cruising at 107 knots true, and I'm climbing that instead of about 500 or 600 feet a minute, I'm climbing out somewhere between 700 and 800 feet a minute, and I can see 1,000 feet per minute intermittently as I climb. So pretty good overall change, if you ask me. So I've been watching a lot of YouTube videos about aviation, because that's what you do during Christmas time. And I find it interesting how many guys talk about affordable aviation this and affordable aviation that. And the planes they're talking about are just not all that affordable. Even when we're talking about guys that are specifically devoted to SLSAs and LSAs. Specifically one that bothered me was a guy talking about the Icon A5. Now, a little bumpy there, but the Icon A5 is it's an okay airplane. I'm not going to talk about the merits of the design or anything like that, because a lot of things obviously went into the design. But to consider that plane, quote-unquote, affordable aviation, I think is a little ridiculous. I mean, if you look at it, the plane is, almost $300,000 delivered to you. Then you've got your, everything else associated with that. So per hour, you're talking about a huge investment of money and time that, average Joe Schmo like me is never going to be able to afford that. So it got me wondering, what was my criteria for affordable aviation? And I'd have to say that it's similar to guys buying a sports car in their 40s. It needs to be something that's achievable and attainable for somebody that's working for a living. That that's got a regular 9-to-5 job, wife, couple kids, and it's not going to stress or tax the bank, or it's not going to cause them a financial hardship to have that investment. But anyway, so what makes affordable aviation? So my first thought was, again, going back to that the car analogy. It should be something that the average guy can pick up, can maintain, can enjoy without really causing much hardship to the family. So I remember when I was beginning my flight training, again, this was not that long ago, this was 2014, 2015, that you could pick up a Cessna 150, 152 for $10,000, $13,000. You and a buddy get your pilot's license and turn around and sell it 100, 150 hours later, 200 hours later, and get exactly what you paid for it. And to me, that's affordable aviation, something that's not going to be a terrible investment over the long run. But here we got all these guys making claims like, oh, this is the next big thing in aviation, and it's a $300,000 Carbon Cub. Now, granted, that thing's going to perform great, but Cub used to be something you picked up because they were inexpensive, fun to fly, and something to take the family around and go sightseeing, and not $250,000 plus investment. So last part I think about affordable aviation is that's where experimental is really taken off, because the cost to get in is quite a bit less than it is to get into a certified aircraft with similar performance. So I think Zenith is probably one of the best options in that category. It's something that the average guy can get into realistically if they're being frugal, making correct choices, being budget-minded. You could easily get into a nice flying airplane for somewhere in the neighborhood of about $35,000 to $45,000. Now, you can also find previously built kits or kits that people have given up on, and that can also drastically change the amount of money it costs for you to get involved. That's how I got this plane. This one was partially completed, and I jumped into it, completed it, and here I am flying it and just loving it. And for me right now, this plane costs me $30, $35 an hour. The hangar costs me about $250 a month. And overall, it's like, that's not a inexpensive hobby, but when you compare it to other hobbies out there like golf, if I was playing golf seriously, you're gonna spend $1,000 every other year on golf clubs. You're going to be spending, you're going to be hitting at least a bucket of balls twice a week for $20, $30. You're going to play at least 1 to 2 rounds a month. Some guys playing 4 rounds a month at $40, $50. Hobby's a hobby. They're all going to cost about the same as far as time and effort and energy you put into them. The problem is when you get to some levels of aviation, that cost becomes, in my mind, kind of excessive. And it really keeps a lot of guys that would otherwise be pilots out of the pilot field. Somerton traffic, experimental 8 November, left base runway 35, full stop, Somerton. Somerton traffic, experimental 8 November, final runway 35, full stop, Somerton. Okay, fuel's on, pump protecting, make sure search car beat is on. Power is set for landing.
All right, everybody, just back from flying. I don't know how much that you were able to hear because I had to use a different way of capturing the audio in the plane today, but we're back. It was a great time. I hope you guys like this type of content. You do. The best thing that you can do for me to help me grow this channel is like and subscribe. But until next time, this is me telling you guys to live the light sport lifestyle, and I'll see you guys next time.